Like,
Because sorry to cut you off. The reason why I say it's worse for you than gear is because if you're sick, your doctor's not is not gonna prescribe you coke, is it?
fuck, no, never. Zero.
But if you got asthma, you got low testosterone, what's it gonna prescribe you? It might prescribe you Winstrol, might prescribe you TRT.
What's going on YouTube? It's Jason and welcome to day number 62 of my 86-day vlogging challenge. So this time I'm bringing you the second of the full steroid interviews with Yinka, the IFBB pro. I love this interview, it's raw and honest, but you also get to see Yinka before he jumped on gear. He was still an absolute unit and actually won a bodybuilding show natural. I'll show you the photos. Then once jumping on, he went even further on the bodybuilding stage. It's a really good interview, let's run it.
So, Yinka, thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview. For those that don't know Yinka, Yinka is a giant in the game. He's an IFBB pro, which is the highest level of bodybuilder that us mere mortals aspire to. So his experience and insights will be very valuable for giving us a better picture and idea of what this whole gear thing is about. So, Yinka, in terms of your training experience, do you mind just letting us know how long you've been training for in total?
I've got to do the maths now. 2011, I'd say.
Yep.
But as an actual, when I say like training with your boys and going to the gym just to have a good time, and then training to be a bodybuilder, it's two different things.
Sure,
So I'd say training to be a bodybuilder, I'd say 10 years. So 2014, probably, yeah, when I started to actually, train properly.
Sure. I mean, yeah, everyone relates to going to the gym and doing chest and arms 4 times a week. So training properly, 10 years. And at what stage in that journey did you jump on gear? How deep into that?
2021, so that's 3 years ago.
3 years ago. So 7 years. 7 years natural.
After. Yeah, 7 years. Like, I did 2 competitions in that time naturally. So one I didn't win, got last place. Not last, 8 out of 9. So I see that was last place anyway.
Yeah, you're not going to finish it.
Yeah, and then the other one I won. So,
So you won. Just to be clear, you won. Was that the overall you won?
Yeah. So I did a comp in 2018.
Yeah,
I got 8 place out of 9. Then I did another comp in 2019. Got first place, and then I was planning to compete again naturally in 2020. But obviously, we all know what happened in 2020.
Yeah.
I didn't compete again till 2021. But then I was enhanced by then. Yeah.
So 2 questions. You had won an overall in an untested competition, right?
Yeah, the UK BFF.
Wow. So yeah, that's incredible. And so you'd obviously built a lot of muscle naturally before. Just it wasn't like these people nowadays train for 6 months and just jump on it. You built a solid base.
I mean, I was in the industry. I knew the sport inside out. I ate, slept, breathed bodybuilding at that time.
Amazing. So I'm actually going to. I'm going to put a picture up for everyone to see at the point in the journey when you won, because it's actually, I think it's actually really important that people can see, of course, genetics come into it, but people can see what you can achieve naturally. Because a lot of people, their excuse for getting on gear is, I can't build a good physique. And I think that's actually a big misconception.
No, that's a lie.
If you want to build a world-class Olympia-winning physique, different, but a good physique that you can be proud of, most people can do that with hard work and dedication after 5 to 7 years.
Absolutely. The problem is guys now are looking for quick results. They just want it fast. They want it now.
Yes,
because
that's a problem.
Society now, everything is now. Netflix now.
Yeah.
Internet now. Deliveroo now. You go on Google.
Sure.
You wanna answer for something in Google now. ChatGPT, you get it now. So everything is just now. And then people transfer that into the fitness side as well.
Sure. Side note, were you at the Race Chick Royal Rumble?
Well, yeah.
Just gone.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah,
I competed in that one.
So was I. It's so funny. I must have walked past you and not seen you because I saw.
Oh.
I looked back and I was thinking, oh, this guy competed. I was like, NPC. I was like, oh, end of September.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
must have been there. Did
that
you
was,
win?
No, I did a little warm up show. It's like a warm up.
Okay.
We're testing out a look, testing out a peak.
Sure.
So we didn't go into that show like 100% peak. So we just wanted to It's a qualifier basically before I went to the pro qualifier 2 weeks after.
Sure. How do you do that?
Did I win? I didn't win. I got third. Yeah, I got third in that one.
Fun.
I wasn't happy. Obviously with your... I wanted to win it.
I love that. I love the mentality. So I guess training 7 years before gear, and what made you? You're getting great results. You won the overall. What made you say, "I'm taking the plunge" and jump on?
I wanted to go professional. I wanted to do it. I wanted to be a professional bodybuilder. I knew how to train. I knew how to diet already. I had all the basics on lock.
And the genetics.
Yeah, and I have genetics as well.
Yeah.
And then what else? And I was at the right age. I was 31 years old at the time.
Yeah, so you're old enough, been training for a while.
Yeah.
And for those people that don't know, going pro, there are people who have gone pro naturally, but if you actually want to be a competitive pro, the levels are obscene. And I actually
did I say 31? Why do I keep saying 31? I was 34.
34.
Yeah, I'm 36 now. Yeah, I was 34 when I jumped on. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were old enough. It wasn't like these what we're seeing now. The
18,
19, just jumping straight on, no training experience. So you wanted to go pro and take it to the next level. That's why you jumped on. And what did gear do for you? I know we kind of discussed this before, but in terms of like, just so they know, gains, strength, pumps, anything. Did you notice a difference? If so, what difference do you notice?
Yeah, I noticed a difference, not like straight away. I'd say I noticed a difference probably after like 12 weeks.
Okay.
In
terms of like fullness and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, I wouldn't say crazy size. Like, yes, there was a significant change, but it wasn't like I went from what do you call it, a tiny guy to run a coma the next day. You could just see difference in the muscle. So
yes. Was it obvious? Go on.
Yeah, go on.
Was it obvious for those who didn't know you? Like, did they, when you got, when sometimes you get on something and you don't necessarily discuss it with everyone, but was it enough that people who didn't know you were like, "Oh, Yinka, you're looking," or
to be honest, I've always had that, even when I was natural. People were like,
okay.
People were I was on gear when I was natural. My friends thought I was on gear when I was natural. They used to always troll me, like, "Oh, roid weights" and stuff like that. But I just had the muscle. It was part of my genetics. And then when I eventually said I'm gonna go in hard, the results were just, it was mind blowing. And yes, I'd say I got it in the gym. There were people coming up to me like, "Oh man, you got a great physique, man," blah blah blah. But they have no idea where I'm coming from because they don't know me. So
no,
that's what they see at that particular. Yeah, what they see at that time. They're like, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And a lot of people have this. It's actually a really important point I want to discuss. A couple of the guys I've spoken to in the other interviews spoke about having gained like 20 kilos of muscle and massive strength. When I spoke to you, you mentioned obviously being a bodybuilder, not a powerlifter, that actually wasn't like your bench doubled, and actually what improved was your body composition. Like how your muscle to fat ratio at 85 got much better on gear, but it wasn't like you were sub 70 kilos and now on stage you're 105, like most people speak about, right? So when you got on it afterwards, you were a leaner, more dense 85 rather than like night and day.
Yeah. So I actually remember when I competed in 2019 and I won natural. I was 80 kg on stage, right?
Yeah.
And then when I competed enhanced in 2021, I was 85 kg.
That's not crazy. Yeah, that's not mad.
So
That's
in
quality.
space of what, 5 years? Well, sorry, 3 years.
Yeah, 5 kilos.
5 kilos.
Which actually, everything aside, is actually naturally doable for someone
definitely.
yeah.
It could just take you a little bit longer. And again,
Yes.
depends on your genetics, depends on how you train as well, how you diet, your food.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
no black and
Quick
white
fix.
answer. It's just so many variables to it. What's your sleep
Sure.
like? Like the results vary
Sure.
depending on how each person executes their day to day. So yeah.
Sure. That is encouraging. And what gear did you take? We've heard a couple of other interviews. We've heard a lot of different names that probably people don't recognize. What have you tried in terms of like from the 2021 to now, all the different compounds? Like, I know you're loads, but like, yeah. What
basic
sort of,
stuff? Just the basic test, primo, masteron. That's it.
Okay.
Those are the basic compounds.
Fine. And in terms of, on the back of that, the people don't really know about these compounds, but in terms of people are now starting to get clued on as to like what a TRT dose is and whatever. What sort of strength, how much of a dose of test did you take at your peak?
Okay, so my coach is very good actually. I trust him, so I go off what he recommends. And obviously, being enhanced, I started to educate myself on it as well. I got more experience on it. I got more experience on it now that I had at the beginning. So the first year we did 150 test.
Nothing. Yep, that's low.
And then we did 200 primo, and then I didn't do master on the first year.
Right.
So we just test, and actually the first year all I did was test.
Okay.
And then the following year, 2022,
you added
150 test, and then 200 primo.
Fine.
And then the year I turned pro, we upped it a little bit. 150 test, 400 primo, and I think I did 300 mass.
Fun.
Yeah.
So you don't know Primo. Primo was like one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's favorite drugs. He literally loved it. The guy, he banged on about it.
Yeah. It's a very
dry
mild,
and lean.
Very, very mild steroid. So
fun. So top dose of test was 150. And have you suffered any side effects while on, or anything outside the norm? Because a lot of people that don't understand about it and just literally read BBC News are like, everyone gets a heart attack, and basically like from a real life person.
The main thing with what people don't realize with gear is that it's people are just ignorant about it, because it's painted in such a bad light where once you take it, you're gonna die. But if they actually do your research and find out what are these things, you will realize, okay, these compounds are actually designed to help people who are sick.
Yeah, they were made in the lab. They were made in a lab. Yeah,
exactly. Some compounds that help for cancer, asthma, things like that.
Yeah.
Joint pains, arthritis, things like that. So obviously, bodybuilders caught up onto it, and it helps us grow muscle.
Sure. And I think,
yeah. What was I gonna say? What was the question again? I forgot.
Sorry. I was saying about side effects. Like side effects.
Side effects. Yeah. No, I didn't. I had no side effects whatsoever. Like people always ask me, "Oh, yeah, do you have any side effects?" Personally, no. I don't know why. That's just me. I know some people who take like triple what I'm taking, and they've got no side effects either. I know people who take what I take and have side effects. That people, it's just
okay.
That's another thing about compound. It's relative to everyone's body reacts to things differently. You might drink milk and you might be in the toilet for 2 days. Someone else drinks a gallon of milk and they're okay. So it's all relative to the person.
So it's relative to it's basically how the compound reacts with your body. But is it also in a way dose dependent? Like if you were to go 10x your dose, you would probably.
I probably wouldn't do that.
No, it would be stupid. But what I'm saying is, you would probably encounter more side effects, right? As you,
of course, if you drink a gallon of Ray and Nephew, what's going to happen to you? Yeah,
body
but
diet. Of course.
if you do it in a decent way, you have fun, you enjoy it. It's
Sure.
the same thing with any drug.
Don't
People,
defend it. Yeah.
obviously, I don't do recreational drugs, and I would never. But people that do recreational drugs, the smart ones are the ones that just do it on the side, just have it.
Yes.
But the ones
Yes.
that abuse it, what happens to them?
Of course.
You hear that they died the next day.
And they become the person on the front cover of the papers, being like,
Yeah,
"Don't do
yeah.
drugs, kids." When
Because
actually millions are doing it safely.
because they're addicted to it. You see what
Yes.
I'm saying? We're not bodybuilders are not addicted to gear. It's called performance enhancing drug. It's a performance enhancer. That's what it is.
They want it to help their
Not meant
performance.
to. Yeah, it's just to give you a little bit of a bump. People think it's the secret to like the ice. It's just an icing on the cake. You still have to train as hard, like your life depends on it.
If not more.
You know, if not more. Yeah. In fact, you need to work harder when you're on gear than when you went on.
Yes, to actually get the full results out of it. I think that's a very interesting point, because I say this a lot. Even though I'm natural, again, I have a lot of friends that are on gear, and one of the things I find very interesting is the hypocrisy, right? Like, people will casually go. When I was in the city, people would go on a night out on a Thursday, and literally in the toilet before we even go to the pub, they're doing lines of coke. But they're somebody on steroids is post a picture on Instagram. They're like, roids. It's like, guys, you are literally taking Class A drugs.
Yeah.
It's just because you guys look so freakish.
That's even worse for you than gear.
100%. 100%. Well, of course. As a mild dose. And this is why I think it's like...
Because, sorry to cut you off. The reason why I say it's worse for you than gear is because if you're sick, your doctor is not going to prescribe you coke, is it?
Coke? No, never. Zero.
But if you got asthma, you got low testosterone, what's it going to prescribe you? It might prescribe you Winstrol, might prescribe you TRT.
Yes, true.
So most, like I said earlier, people are just not educated on what gear actually is. They just, I don't know, it's just been painted in a bad light.
Sure.
Yes, it's dangerous it's risky and dangerous, but at the same time, it can be done very, very safe if you're smart about it.
Sure. And you, obviously, like you kind of gone, haven't had any side effects. You've gone for a sensible dose. Would you have, and this is a side question, would you have jumped on if you didn't have guidance from a coach? Or was it very much like you?
No, absolutely not. I had to, because I don't know nothing about it.
Right.
Before I jumped, I had zero clue. In fact, when I was coming up training in the gym, I never once looked at a guy and think, oh, what's he taking? It was more like, oh, wow, what's his training like? What's his recovery like? You know, I'm looking at him training in the gym, and I'm analyzing his form. You know, that's how my generation is anyway. I don't know about these new ones.
Young bucks.
The first thing they ask you is, what are you taking?
Yeah, of course. It's like
like you take that thing and then you just transform.
Suddenly become no. You know, it's big ignorance, and I tell a lot of people, especially young people, and I keep stressing to people, like, when you say, if you're doing everything right and you have the genetics, and this is me even as a natural saying this, gear can give you a supernatural edge.
It can give you zero effect.
But if you don't have the underlying genetics to do it, you can take 3 times the dose of someone like
nothing's gonna happen,
and you look nowhere near you. So it's everything.
That's bodybuilding, really. I can't speak for fitness influencers or these are. I'm a bodybuilder, right?
Sure.
If you don't have genetics to be a bodybuilder, there's nothing you can do. There's no amount of gear you can do. There's no amount of training you can do. There's no amount of food you can eat. Like, I always give this example, if there are 2 guys, right, who, let's say, just me and you hypothetically, right? Me and you, we do the same gear, we do the same food, train the exact same way, 100%. Everything we do is the same, right? We step on stage. One is going to be superior.
Yes, for sure.
And what's going to separate that? What's going to separate them is that's at the end of the day, it's who has genetics. Now, it doesn't mean that the person who has lower genetics can't do well. He can, but it might not reach. If both of you are like 100%. There's always one guy who's gonna, and there's plenty of examples from that in the history of the sport where there are two rivals. Like I remember Phil Heath and Kai Green, they were like,
yeah. And Phil just
both
Phil smoked him
crazy physiques, but Phil Heath just had better genetics because he had that that bubbly look.
Everything.
Everything's 3D.
A freak.
Kai Green on the other hand, he didn't have the 3D look. He just had that. That predator, that thin skin.
You see,
like
it's
crazy,
funny.
So
it's funny because Kai Green, same as I say all the time with Jay Cutler, unfortunately born a great bodybuilder, born in the wrong era. Like if Kai Green, if there was no Phil Heath, Kai Green is taking show after show. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
he would have won
the level of
genetics. Olympians, But Phil Heath was standing in his way.
Yes. And it's funny, the genetic thing is so true with Phil because Phil was a basketball player. But when you see the start of it, it wasn't anywhere near what he is now.
If you saw Phil Heath when it was natural, right? I saw him at the weekend at the Arnold Expo.
Oh, Birmingham, you went?
Yeah, I was there. I was there for the whole weekend. This guy is like 3 years into retirement and his arms are still like crazy.
Ridiculous.
So that tells you who has it and who hasn't got it.
Yeah.
Ronnie Coleman, he was just from another planet.
Yeah.
Because I think when God was designing him, he probably just put too much
genetic
source in his genetics away.
I saw a picture of Ronnie before gear, and it was like literally the guy would take shows like now with everything was there.
He did at least maybe 5-6 Olympias naturally. He was competing against the best who were on gear. Wow. Naturally, yes, it wasn't winning, but you could see the crazy physique and potential. And then when he jumped on, everybody just go home, innit?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So, it's genetics. You gotta have genetics for bodybuilding.
Exactly, I agree.
You gotta have it.
Because a lot of people, on Yinka's point, a lot of people will take higher doses, thinking that they can use gear to bridge the gap, and the genetics jump is just too big to bridge with gear. You can put all the stuff in. What will happen is you will end up doing more harm to your health and not getting the gains you want. So
I talk to guys all the time in the gym. I remember I was speaking to one guy a couple months back. Mm-hmm. I know he hasn't got the genetics for it. I know, but he's a nice guy. I'm not gonna shit on his dream. He's not hungry. So he done a show, and don't forget, I know he was taking crazy amounts. Like I haven't. Is
he a bodybuilder?
He's trying to be a bodybuilder, but he hasn't quite got the genetics for it.
Yeah.
And then he was talking to me in the car park, and he's like, he did a show, he didn't quite do well in it. So I'm saying to him, just keep working, just keep doing your thing, working out. You know what he said to me? He said, we're going to up the dose. It's like, it's not the answer, mate. It's not.
No, it's not.
I guarantee you now, the little I took when I started, if I didn't see the response, I'll have been like, maybe the same for me.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But again, everyone's got their own life in it. You can decide what you want to do. But I just said that as an example of where people think upping the dose is the answer.
No, it's not.
It's never. I can guarantee you, it's 99.99999% not the case.
Not the answer. Yeah.
No.
You have to have it, and then if you have it, then of course, like for example, now if you decide 2-3 years in, you want to bump up your doses, you already have the underlying condition.
Exactly. I've got the foundation already.
Yeah. Right. So then you can obviously benefit from it. So I guess final question. I'll go into a bonus question. A lot of these guys, like I said, they talk about body dysmorphia and all these different things, and there are a lot of people that are now contemplating gear a lot more than when I was growing up. When I was growing up, it was very much like you want to bodybuild, you take this stuff. If you weren't trying to bodybuild, it was kind of frowned upon. Now a lot of these guys are sitting there thinking, should I just take
everyone's running now,
a pro hormone or Starmer or something like that. If someone was sitting at home, young or old, and they were contemplating gear, as someone who's kind of been on it, a bit more experienced, what would you say to them?
I can't tell someone do it don't do it. Like, it's your own life at the end of the day.
Sure.
Like the Hodge twins will say you can do whatever the F you want to do.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, what is your why? Okay.
Yes.
If it's just to boost your own confidence, your own body dysmorphia, make sure that your body can actually receive this thing. So when I say that, go and get your blood work done. I get my blood work done 4 times a year. Get your blood work done.
Interesting. 4
Get
times a year.
advice from, obviously your doctor's not gonna, your GP is not gonna tell you jump on gear. Get advice from trusted people. Don't go off the internet.
Yeah, I agree.
Because gear can be used for the right reasons if it's done smartly. A lot of your Hollywood actors use gear
100%.
to get ready for a role. So people are naive to that. They think, oh, these guys are natural. How do you think Hugh Jackman gets in shape?
Hugh Jackman, Thor. They talk about who was the other one? Zac Efron got on gear for Baywatch.
Yeah,
like,
and you could exactly. I mean, did he look?
He was
did he look he was on gear?
He looked
natural to me.
No, but he was dry. He was. There was a dryness. There was a dryness.
You can't.
I look at. I'm like, I'm like,
that level of dryness. Yeah.
But he wasn't big at all.
Ready.
Thor. But another thing, this is a funny thing because I had a client who was an actor, and he said gear is not a taboo in the industry. That people see it in the industry, like for us it is, but like in the industry they see.
If you're
it like,
outside the industry, yes.
Yeah, but in the Hollywood industry, they view it like how you would have I need to get to Spain, and someone's like, "Oh, you driving?" They're like, "I'm taking an airplane." Like, if you've got a role, they'll come to you and say, "Yinka, by the way, we're starting you for this role. We needed to gain 2 stone of muscle." You sit there and go, 2 stone of muscle? I can't do that in 6 months. They'll be like, "Do you want a role?" Like, that is literally as simple as it is. So it's
part of it.
Yeah.
Because if it's so bad, right? Everyone, you'll be hearing a lot of people on the news just dying like flies.
Sure.
But it can be done very, very safely. It's just a tool in the bag that you can use.
Yes.
To get to where you want to be.
It's a risk. Obviously, everything comes with risk. I think people have this idea about, but there are risks. There are risks with paracetamol. There are risks with,
of course.
All of these things have to have like small compliance stuff on the bottom because when you take a drug, there is a risk. But it doesn't mean, I keep telling people the same thing. As much as I'm natural, I still say to people, there are more bodybuilders in the world not collapsing off gear than people collapsing off gear.
Exactly. So, there are more people dying from obesity.
Yeah, literally.
Guys on gear. That's what I'm trying to say. So I didn't like I said, it's just education, man.
Sure.
It's just taboo. There's
sure.
taboo around it.
So I guess final kind of bonus question. Let's say we're too late, and let's say a 19-year-old has already jumped on gear. Are there any precautions you'd advise them to take? So let's say they've been taking like 3 months already, and they're already on it, and they just jumped on because they wanted to go to Ibiza and they didn't really do their research. What would you say to them? Hey, Yinka, I'm already on. Can you help with anything or give me advice on what to do?
Depends what you want to help with. You can't undo what you've done. So if you've already jumped on, it's your decision. Do you want to stop or you want to keep going? So first of all, if you want to stay on, why do you want to keep staying on? Because you have to understand the repercussions of what that comes with taking PEDs. Sure. You might face side effects in the future. You understand? Yes. Are you prepared to face that if it does happen? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
That's
the question I ask myself. If there were any repercussions in the future, am I gonna be like, I regret? Like, yeah, I'm not gonna regret it because I made that decision myself. If there's any sort of repercussions.
And so even though you haven't suffered side effects now, you are open-minded and prepared for the fact that later on down the line, this could mean, it may not, but it could potentially also
it may not.
Yeah.
It may not, it could be. So
And
there are things people do that you might not face. The kind of foods we eat, you don't know in 5 years down the line you're gonna have side effects
absolutely.
from it. So
And
it's the same way.
And on your blood, because this is actually a really important point. A lot of people do this kind of blast and cruise thing. You mentioned you just kind of come off when you need to go off,
Yeah.
rather than kind of doing this post-psychotherapy stuff.
No.
Do you recommend bloods to know what's going on? If you're taking gear, would you say as like
Of course, that's non-negotiable.
Okay.
In fact,
To know
even
what's
if you're
going on
not
in the
on gear, even if you're not on gear, you should always get your blood checked. Find out what needs to be corrected. Find out what you can do better. Me personally, I've never had any issue with my blood really. So yes, there might be a few things that could be better, but it's never been like, so excessive where you need to take action now. It's more just, the doctor's advising, okay, take some more omega-3s, take some more krill oil.
Sure.
Just to keep your cholesterol in a good range, make sure your livers are in check, take this, take that.
Sure.
You stay on top of your health supplement. So
Sure.
always get your bloods checked, man. I mean, you have that's non-negotiable really. And I don't stay on cycle all year round anyway. Like I said, bodybuilding is my job. Well, not full time now, but it's my job.
Yes.
I have a season and I have an off season.
Yes.
Most guys stay on gear all year round. Yeah.
Do you mind if we just see your arms? I think you can kind of see your shoulders and stuff. Can we just see the arm? Can we just see it flip? See.
I'm in the off season right now.
And so now weight wise, so your stage weight's about 85. Off season weight, what are you looking at now, roughly?
I'm around 102 now.
Wow.
On stage when I turned pro, I was 85.
And what are you aiming for this
86
time per stage? Same sort of weight or back?
At the end of the day, the weight doesn't really matter, man. I beat guys who weigh 20 kg more than me. It's what you look like as weight. But if I was to guess, I'd say I'll probably end up around 90.
Lean tissue.
So that would be a huge difference in look compared to the 85 kg, 86 kg.
For sure.
Look. So that's the extra 4 kilos of muscle added. That would be a significant change if you compare the
massive. Sure. So we look forward to seeing that. So Yinka, thank you so much. As I said, IFBB Pro for me is the ultimate level in terms of asking someone who's been with gear and used it. If there's ever a way for the purpose it's used for, like actually not just I want to get a bit of a pump, actually saying I want to push my body to the limits and be competitive. And even as a natural, I've always said something that people ask, why would you not get on gear? And I'm like, I literally do mine. But
you don't have a reason to.
No, that's exactly that. My one is just like be healthy, be in shape. Like if you want to go and run with it, and that's actually one of the reasons. Off record, it's one of the reasons why I'm not competing past October. I did October just to kind of dip my toe in. I saw the level and I was like, woo. If you really want to go into the deep end and be competitive, I know me myself, kind of like you, I wouldn't want to just go somewhere to finish 7th and 8th each time. I want to win, and I know that to win in this game and dominate, there's an edge that you can't reach. So you have to have that decision yourself. So,
and I wouldn't have jumped from gear if it was just to compete at the amateur level.
Sure, no need.
When I made the decision to do bodybuilding full time, I was going all in.
Yes.
So yes, people do it just to be competitive on the amateur side, but that's their choice. Me personally, I wouldn't.
Yes, it's not worth it. Not worth it.
I would look for another talent. I'll look for something else to do.
Absolutely. But look, thank you very much, and thank you for your insights. I will get this edited and over to you ASAP.
No problem.
Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
Take care. See you.
Bye.
So yeah, guys, that is everything. A slightly different perspective on gear. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Don't forget to like it if you did. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Please subscribe to my channel to follow me on this journey, and I'll see you again tomorrow.